Yes, it is one of the biggest Old Firm matches in recent years. Celtic taking on Rangers tomorrow. It is live on Sky Sports. Remember, Celtic with this crucial 3-point lead over their rivals, just 3 games remaining, but they face them next. We've got reporters in both camps. Gordon Duncan was speaking to Philippe Clement not so long ago. First to Mark Benstead, though, at Celtic Park. Hi there, Mark. So Brendan Rodgers has defended some comments that he made last week about having some fun when asked about the Old Firm match. Can you just maybe flesh that out for us a little bit?
Afternoon, David. How do I explain this? Well, I think you'll find that in the build-up to this fixture, the comments of players and managers are scrutinised that little bit more. Something that could be normally considered to be a bit innocuous, a casual pass-away, throwaway comment, can get seized upon. It can be taken as a slight, as an insult by the opposing camp. And that seems to have been the case here to a certain degree. Perhaps it's just a symptom of how much is riding on this Old Firm meeting. It all sort of started off following the game against Hearts here for Celtic last weekend. Brendan Rodgers in his post-match media conference was asked about the lead into this weekend's game, the position they found themselves in. He sort of said, look, we'll do our prep, nothing to take for granted, there's work to be done, yada, 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 yada. And on Saturday, we'll have a bit of fun. Now, that little last comment didn't sit well with Philippe Clement. He bit back on it following Sunday's victory against Kilmarnock and said, yeah, we'll have a bit of fun too. And he suggested that Rodgers' comments maybe didn't show his team respect. This is what Brendan Rodgers had to say in reply to that today.
I think anyone who was at my press conference would have sensed and the way in which it was said. It was, you know, obviously the reaction to that is totally without merit, and it has no context whatsoever. You know, I certainly have never referred. You mentioned my past record in these games. I've never referred to these other than being intense, being competitive. So we never talk about the game as that, but we talk about the whole occasion. The occasion is one of the most iconic games in world football, and I love it.
We're getting this kind of real character, real edge from Brendan Rodgers now, aren't we, as we get into the end of the season? And I guess another thing is Celtic are unbeaten against Rangers this season. I wonder how much experience will be key, Mark.
Yeah, unbeaten against Rangers this season. On top of that, they do have vast experience within the camp, players who've been there and done it. Just James Forrest alone has 22 major honours. He's won 11 league titles individually. Throw in beyond that the fact they've got a lot of their senior and important players back fit and firing just now. The likes of Cameron Carter-Vickers, Rio Atati, Dejan Maeda have all missed chunks of the season. They are all back in the equation now. And that really has helped Celtic in recent weeks and could help them again for this game tomorrow. On top of that, they have a manager in Brendan Rodgers, who is one away from 150 victories in charge of Celtic, and a man who's got an excellent record in the games against Rangers. He's lost once in 16 meetings with the city rivals. And he was asked about that record he has in the fixture, and he says this is what he believes is key to getting those good results time and time again.
I think I go into every game and people will reference the record, but I think the mindset is really to go in and forget about what's happened before. You know, it's you can't rely on that. It's the preparation, it's the calmness of the team. You know, the build up to the games are relaxed but focused, and of course then you have to perform. So and the players over both my periods here have performed so well in these games. So like I said after the last game, I'm really looking forward to this game. This is a game where, as I said, the supporters was 60,000 odd. The pitch will be magnificent. And it's a chance for us to perform.
The thoughts there of Brendan Rodgers on this fixture. The good news for the Celtic manager is that he has a fully fit squad from which to choose. And perhaps just one selection dilemma. It's what he does out wide. Dejan Maeda returned from injury off the bench last weekend. Could he push his way into the starting 11, given how well he did up against James Tavernier in the last Old Firm game? We'll find out tomorrow, of course. It is almost here. This one is going to be huge.
It absolutely is, Mark. Thank you very much indeed. OK, so that's the Celtic side of things. Is the pressure then on Rangers going into this match? Let's find out and speak to Gordon Duncan, who's been waiting patiently to talk to us. Gordon, Rangers do need a win tomorrow. They desperately need a win. Anything less, and it feels like the title has slipped away. Was there any kind of message from Philippe Clement to his players?
Yeah, well, I mean, funnily enough, the message from Philippe Clement was that this game is not a must-win. You're right, though. The vast majority of Rangers fans and observers here from the Scottish Premiership would look at that 3-point gap, Celtic with the superior goal difference, and think that Rangers do really need to win the game to stand any chance of winning that title. But Philippe Clement was quick to play that down. He wanted to point out that a draw would still mean it was very possible. Celtic would then, of course, have to go to Kilmarnock midweek, which has been a tough place to go. He accepted that a defeat would certainly make it beyond any reasonable doubt, but he was keen to get that message out there that this, in his eyes, is not a must-win. The Rangers fans do seem to think that it is. Jack Butland gave his press conference today, the Rangers goalkeeper. He said it was a must-win as well, so whether this is Philippe Clement trying to take a bit of pressure off his players or not, time will tell. But either way, the speaking, the talking that goes into a week like this, it's all part of the fun, since that's been the key word of the week. It's all part of the build-up. And Philippe Clement even found time, he dug into the ancient history books for this analogy about what his players can expect tomorrow.
Football is maybe a little bit like the gladiators of the modern age. In the old times, you have the gladiators there, and you have the stadium full of people shouting and booing and doing, or with their thumb up or with their thumb down. I think we are now in that situation. The good thing is, people don't kill us, or we're not dead after. Maybe verbally, yes, but not in real life. So that's a positive, that we always have another go in the stadium again. But that's how society works now, and players need to be ready for that. It's also an exciting thing like that, because the more passion people have for the things, yeah, the more support you have also. It works on both ways. So, no, they need to grab these moments to be really good gladiators.
I suppose that's one way of looking at it tomorrow. It's certainly going to be a cracker, and all the accusations that have been levelled at Rangers as to why they are not favourites to win this league or not favourites to win this game, Philippe Clement was ready to answer them all, in terms of the fact that they had their noses in front and then slipped up in games against Ross County in Dundee. Philippe Clement takes the positives and says that they are still the team with the best record in the Scottish Premiership since he came to the club. We spoke earlier, we heard Mark mentioning Celtic's superior head-to-head record this season, but again, you'll remember Philippe Clement called the 3-3 draw the last time a moral victory for Rangers because they came back from 2 goals down. And the other factor that on paper would go in Celtic's favour this weekend is the fact that it's at Celtic Park, and remember, no Rangers fans, still no away supporters in this fixture. So again, you would imagine that hands the advantage to the home side, in this case Celtic, but that's something that the Rangers boss hopes he can turn into a positive.
You need to love that if you want to be a player here or in this town. And I know many love to play here. And it's the case when you're on that pitch, and I know that from the past when I was there on the pitch. You know, as a player, the more people boo at you, the more people are shouting at you, the more people are negative towards you, the more they are afraid that their team don't get a result. It works that way. So in a way, I think the more they're going to boo tomorrow, the stronger my team is going to get.
Not particularly good news on the injury front. Leon Balogun is doubtful. A late decision will be made on him. Philippe Clement says wingers Rabbi Matondo and Abdallah Sima will both miss the match as well. But either way, whoever takes to the field, it is going to be blockbuster, a Premiership title on the line, and you can see it all live on Sky Sports tomorrow lunchtime.
Gordon, thank you very much indeed.